I know that sounds wild, but be the guy.
I'm standing in it.
Yeah, there you are. I love your shirt. I love your shirt. I love your shirt, by the way.
My buddy makes these, man. If anybody likes this shirt, and there's two others that I wear. One says "Embrace Mental Health," and the other has a little brain. And it says "Men need to know it's okay to not be okay." And on the back, it has and all the other things that men need to know it's okay not that they can be. And it's Big Leap Inc., like a frog leaping. Big Leap Inc., all one word.com. And he sells these shirts. These were inspired. His dad had mental health, and they've been inspired by me.
I love it.
Embrace Mental Health has the brain on the back and the butterflies, and it's in honor of my tattoo.
I like it. I love that, and I've been big on trying to push for men to be more open about their feelings, if you will. Men don't have feelings. I don't know what you're talking about. That whole mentality. I think that we're the 21st century. I think we should be able to be more open about it, and that that's for everyone. So I'll kind of ask you a few things here. What do you think after your TBI? I always say that if you give yourself time after your recovery, and be patient, you will find that your brain may not be the same, because it's definitely not going to be exactly the same. You're going to find traits of yourself that are still there.
Yeah.
But you will find something that possibly was unlocked that you didn't have before. Like for me, it kind of heightened my creativity. So do you think you found anything that was unlocked for you?
Oh yeah, man. And honestly, I think this truly happens to a lot of us brain injury survivors if we can learn to slow it down, because the overwhelm and the overstimulation is too great and it's moving too fast. Because what happens to us, the first thing that goes is our ability to process information.
Yeah.
And so that means things start moving faster than they were before, and it was already moving really fast. So once we learn to slow things down, and then we can really access what I call gifts. I think we have a lot of gifts, and I think we have a lot of blessings, because when brain injury happens, yes, a certain part of our brain got damaged. And when it begins to heal, neuroplasticity is the ability to rewire new neural pathways. We don't fix the damage. The damage can't be fixed,
right,
but we can build right next to it.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're activating different parts of our brain that have never been activated. I think that's going to come with gifts. I think that's going to come with activations of certain aspects that we never had, or abilities or thought processes or experiences, right?
Yep.
So I would say that as a poet, my writing changed, and I think it's locked in a different way. I would say on a spiritual level, I was an empath. Now I'm a telepath. Now I actually, like, my friends joke with me, and they don't joke with me.
Yeah.
Don't think Lolly too much. I'll text you. I will text you. I will feel you. Like, I think we become.
I get that 100%. I get that 100%. I feel vibes, and I feel vibes, and I have to kind of keep people at arm's length at times. I know that sounds weird, but
yes. Well, what happens is I want people to look at it like this. What's up, Corey? I'm so glad I got a couple of my clients in here today as a TBI life coach and consultant. It's just, I love you guys. So I always talk about the brain being a radio antenna. We are absorbing frequencies.
Right.
We are absorbing frequencies. When brain injury happens, what happens is somebody came into our radio antenna and they amped us up 100 times.
Yeah.
So now we're absorbing more frequencies.
Right.
Here's the problem. What do I need to process those frequencies? The computer system.
Yeah.
And my brain is the computer system. It is. So now I'm absorbing more with less ability to process.
Right. Less bandwidth
to process. Yeah. So, it's such a challenge. But man, I'll tell you, I've become so close. So don't try to lie to a brain injury survivor.
100%. Our
Do
guard,
not.
our guard is
We
always up.
we will know something is wrong, whether or not we are in this reality yet. Like, we will know something is wrong, and it will upset us. Like the energy is felt. I feel energy very, very strongly, and that's how it's become telepathy. What happens is I feel the energy because I the empath part, and then it translates into an image in my head, into a summary of thoughts, into words. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
Other things that I think would say I have opened up for me. Yeah, I think honestly, my creativity, I think my writing has gotten better. And this comes from a person who said that I didn't think that I would ever write again. It took me 2 years to write again. It brought me present. Like, okay, so I used to teach self-awareness, okay?
Right.
I used to operate with presence. I used to operate with doing mind scans and body scans all day, every day. And Jessica, thank you for that, for reminding me of that, is that I did, because brain injury forced me to either give up and disassociate entirely,
Yeah.
or I'm going to show up and I'm going to start learning myself.
Yeah.
And the fine-tooth comb that I had to go through to find out what I was experiencing, because so much of my basic functioning changed, so much of my default thought processing changed, so much of the way I'm interacting with the world just changed, you know? And so, like, it made me, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not only present with myself and my thoughts and my emotions, I'm present with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that 100%. It takes, it takes a lot of work on yourself and kind of figuring out, I guess, what's going on in here, and the research, if you will, because you have to really delve deep into your mind to figure out what makes it tick, if you will.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely, one of those things that's, when you're going through emotional dysregulation, you have to really figure out how to get your emotions in check before you can even, what makes them kind of go haywire, before you can get them in check at all.
Yeah.
And that was very difficult to do, you know, even with the help of, doctors, and that it's an uphill battle. And that kind of brings me to the next question. So what would you say gives us people with going through TBI the strength to go through the fight every day? What gives us, kind of that drive? At least for you, what does it for you?
What gives me the drive to wake up each day knowing that the day is going to be as hard as it's going to be, knowing that I'm never going to know what I'm going to wake up to, knowing that everybody else has a baseline to who they are when they wake up. Yeah, you might not wake up happy or in a good mood or with energy, but you know who you are. I don't. When I wake up, I really feel that much of a different person. I really feel like I can't go out into this world. And just so you guys know, he's got some really good questions. Which he's got some really good questions that are going to give some really good answers. I promise you that. So stay tuned with this whole interview. It that I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this again. Like ultimately, and what I mean by that is we're just going to go straight to the ideation part of it, right? I think every brain injury survivor at some point in time has an ideation that they don't want to be on this planet anymore. And I believe that if I didn't get up and I did finally give in, then I would just have to do it all over again.
Right.
and I'm gonna learn the lessons. And the other thing is I love myself.
Yeah. And I
Like
think
I loved myself beforehand. The thing is brain injury fractured me, and I lost my identity, and I didn't know who I was anymore. And for years I was in a tailspin, I was in a tornado, but that didn't mean I still didn't love myself.
right.
And I really did. I really loved myself before brain injury. And so, and I love, like, I lost my family. Like, I ended up getting a divorce. 90% of marriages fail. Um, oh my gosh. Okay. Whatever. Uh, I've been restricted because I even said the word idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't even. It's so ridiculous. Look at the shirt, TikTok.
Yeah.
People will talk about these things. We're not glorifying it.
Yeah.
We're talking about real life situations. But I started showing up for myself, man.
Yeah.
Is I started loving myself, and in the beginning, it was that I was a father and I was a wife, and that mattered to me. They were anchors for me. They were keeping me here,
Right.
but I mean, I think that's the question I would ask every brain injury survivor is what gets you what keeps you going? Because there's something, and it can't just be the other people in our lives.
Right.
Like there's something about us that we love, and I hope that survivor can find that within themselves.
Yeah. And if you I
Right?
think I always say if you look deep enough, if you give yourself patience and look deep enough, it's there. It's always there. Like for me I think it seems like for you it's passion to not just
Yeah.
help others but help yourself in helping